Hi everyone, Meteorologist Ethan Emery here in the Fox 19 First Alert Streaming Center for our 19atSIX weekend weather show. We do it every single weekend night, Saturdays and Sundays. Again, wherever you stream, including on the Fox 19 Facebook page, as well as my Facebook page at Ethan Emery WX, where you can chime in, ask questions, have a good little conversation here on this Sunday evening. Of course, we're also live on YouTube, fox19.com, the Fox 19 News and First Alert weather app, and of course on the 24/7 weather streaming channel. Here's your forecast first. We always do this within the first couple of minutes of your 19atSIX. It's my promise to you. That way, if you got plans this evening, trying to get ready for the work week, you got that First Alert forecast, no troubles or no waiting around for that 7-day forecast. So tonight, we got a low down to 42 degrees, and then we go into the day tomorrow for our Monday. Mostly cloudy and very warm. High up to 64 degrees. Heading into the afternoon, and take a look at this, the 7-day forecast. We've got a roller coaster with temperatures here. 64 for Monday, 48 Wednesday, and then we're up to 50 on Wednesday. Now, we've been looking at this. It's really going back and forth. It's going to be really dependent on the timing of the warm front Wednesday, as well as the cold front moving through on Thursday for the temperatures. But it does look like right now the warmest conditions will be felt Wednesday night into Thursday morning, hence why I have Thursday morning's low at 59 degrees. 55, though, Thursday late afternoon with breezy winds, showers, a few thunderstorms are possible with this. And then Friday, mostly sunny, up to 43 degrees. It's a little bit cooler. Then Saturday, rain and breezy, and then Sunday, cloudy and a high of 42. So we've got kind of ups and downs of the 7-day forecast. And if you think this is up and down, you'll have to see the 14-day forecast. I literally just updated it. It does look cooler, and there are chances for snow. I'm just going to say that out there right now, so you want to stay tuned for more details on that coming up. Let's first begin, though, on our 19atSIX. Again, this is our forecast first. We give you that 14-day, or excuse me, the 7-day. The 14-day comes up later. We give you the 7-day at least within the first couple of minutes at the 6 o'clock hour for those of you who join us here. So this is the 7-day. Highs and lows pretty significant here. 64 tomorrow, so the warmest day we've seen in quite some time appears to be with us on Monday. Let's take a look right now at our Newport Levee camera, and as we wait for this to load, we'll take a look at some of those Facebook comments and questions if you have any here this Sunday evening. Hopefully nobody has the Sunday scaries. Don't want to see that because I know the work week is coming up here very shortly. And this is going to show black for a second just because of the fact that the camera takes a second for it to load. But what we've got here is cloudy skies. Look at this. Overcast conditions, maybe a little bit of peaks of sun filtering through. But do note, the reason why I want to show you this, Newport Levee camera is because we are going to be looking at the Ohio River. Do note, the flow has increased in speed. Also note, it's gotten a little bit higher. And we'll take a look at those Ohio River levels here in just a second. Do want to note that the temperature right now, very warm at 51 degrees here this hour. So that's the view from our Newport Levee camera. Now let's take a look at the Ohio River levels. And hopefully this transition works pretty well. I built some of this yesterday. You'll see what I mean here in a second. There's the view from Cincinnati, kind of similar to the Newport Levee view. We zoom in here, and as you can see, we are looking at rising levels at Maysville, Meldal Dam, and in Cincinnati. Not much more. In fact, the levels forecast have gone down compared to yesterday. If you watched us, or watched at least the Fox 19 First Alert Weather app, we mentioned crests were going to be over 40 feet in a few spots. Now it's only in Cincinnati will that crest be above 40 feet, which is action stage or near flood stage. Of course, nowhere close to flood stage. Flood stage is, of course, at 52 feet, but impacts will be felt. We'll talk about that here in a second. So what we've got here is Maysville. The current Ohio River level there is 38.2 feet in Maysville. The crest is coming up tomorrow evening at 38.8 feet. So it is slowing down with the rise. The Meldal Dam, the current gauge is 34.7 feet. Well, actually, I don't know if I did an inaccurate thing. Oh, no, 34.7. My brain went backwards. It's my Friday. So the current depth of the Ohio River at Meldal Dam, 34.7 feet. The crest is Monday evening at 37.5 feet. So that's that. Cincinnati, it's 38.9 feet right now, rising to 41 feet by Tuesday early morning before falling Tuesday afternoon. Markland lower, 33.7. It's going to stay steady for the next couple of days. By Tuesday night into Wednesday, it will begin to go down. So some positive news there. As I mentioned, though, the Ohio River levels, even when they're not at flooding, still bring impacts to folks here in the tri-state. So the river crest today, so far, as I mentioned, 38.9 feet at Cincinnati. But take a look at this. Already going to be seeing the Arm Leader Lunkin Connector Trail closed. I know Chief Meteorologist Steve Horsemeyer will walk around along that connector sometimes or ride his bike there, depending on the season. Not going to be the case tomorrow, at least. At 42 feet, the Arm Leader Park is closed. I don't think that's going to be the case. However, given the saturated grounds, there might be a chance of maybe some areas that might have some ponding there. And we're not worrying about this, but the PNC Pavilion, if you're curious, at 47 feet, that will begin to see water. Not the case here with this current forecast with the Ohio River. Take a look at a couple of other areas here in the tri-state. We'll take a look at our Fox 19 tower camera, and tonight, tell you what, despite the cloud cover, it's beautiful. It's been a pretty nice day. I was outside with the windows down earlier, and you could see the nice colors with the thicker cloud cover. Still, nonetheless, and you can see things are quiet. The winds are actually pretty calm here this evening. And temperatures, as I mentioned, are currently at 51 degrees. And because why not, we'll look at the Newport Levee camera view once more. And beautiful view, those wispy looking clouds. Again, they're thicker and to the point where we are looking at overcast conditions for the bulk of the night tonight. And then also looking at our Turfway Park camera here. The lights are not on just yet, but they probably will be on here soon. And you can actually see over here these little dots. Those are a couple of jets landing because right behind this tree line is CVG. And it looks like they're not really moving much because they're kind of going in this direction. So it's kind of a relative thing here. But they are moving. They're slowly moving this way because, again, the CVG airport is right over that way. And then lastly, we'll take a look at our Mount Auburn tower camera. And this is looking towards East Walnut Hills. Again, overcast conditions, and all is looking quiet here, fortunately, weather-wise, this Sunday evening. Take a look at radar real quick, and we'll see that, again, it's dry, just a lot of cloud cover. But things are going to become active as we head into the middle and latter half of the week, and that trend will continue into next weekend going into the following week. So this is radar and satellite over us here in the tri-state. Again, just a lot of cloud cover here. But as we zoom this out, you're going to see this right here. This is some rain, even some snow over towards eastern South Dakota, southern Minnesota, into Iowa. Now this is going to stay to our north. But as it does that, we are going to see kind of a cold front sink in Monday night into Tuesday. That'll bring us the chance for maybe a few sprinkles. Maybe even a light shower. I can't rule that out. But the next 48 hours are relatively quiet. We'll get to that forecast here in just a second. But for those of you who are curious, we want to know today's high. We're going to show it to you right now on our almanac here for CVG. So taking a look at today's high real quick. We had a high of 57. Pretty impressive, right? Had a morning low of 29 degrees. So the forecast was spot on from what I said yesterday. Pretty proud of that. Now we'll take a look at least those current temperatures. So it's 51 at CVG. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple spots are already in the 40s now. But we're not going to see a huge temperature drop tonight. It's not going to do much. You can see it is a little bit cooler up towards the Great Miami River Valley, towards Middletown at 48, 48 also in Hamilton. The low 50s from Wilmington, the Lunkin Airport, Batavia, Falmouth, a warm spot, 55 here this hour, 52 over in Batesville. And as I mentioned, the winds are pretty light. Really no issues with the winds are expected for tonight. We'll go into tonight and tomorrow's forecast now. And tonight, again, temperatures are not dropping all that much. The winds are actually pretty light too. The reason why the temperatures aren't dropping much despite the light winds is the cloud cover. The cloud cover acts like a blanket. It's going to keep the temperatures from dropping too low. And then we're also looking at a warm front lifting into the area, and that's also aiding with the clouds. But as you can see here, 42, that's it. Not bad for your Monday morning. And then Monday during the day, very warm conditions. In fact, Monday, we are going to be looking at temperatures very close to a record high. Haven't made the forecast yet because I was really deep diving into some of the model data. And Monday's record high is 66 degrees. Very close to getting that record. Now, I don't think we're going to get it just because of the fact that the cloud cover is going to thicken up in the afternoon. But that being said, there's a chance we could see record-breaking high temperatures for Monday. And if you're traveling to start the work week, it's going to be very warm throughout the entire region, except for maybe if you go far north towards the Great Lakes region. Might be a little bit cooler there. But to take a look at this, you're going to see upper 40s towards Chicago, low 50s in Cleveland. As I mentioned, in northern areas could be a little bit cooler, but everyone else, mainly in the 60s. With a lot of cloud cover. 63 in Indianapolis, 60 in Columbus, 69 in Lexington. Then we got the 70s towards St. Louis and Nashville. How about that? Now, we aren't going to see that move here. That'd be nice, though, right? However, we are going to be noticing that Monday is the warmest day of the forecast for the foreseeable future. At least the next 2 weeks does Monday look to be the warmest. So here's a forecast model. We'll just get right into it here. So we go into tonight, into Monday. See there, a lot of cloud cover for Monday morning. And then Monday afternoon, mix of sun and clouds. And then Monday night, a few sprinkles. It's part of that cold front moving in. Very weak, very light. I'm not looking at much in the way of impacts here. At best, if you're going out Monday night, maybe you got a basketball game Monday or a wrestling match. Maybe you're even getting into practice for spring sports. With that, I would say that at best, maybe a few wet roads, a few wet sidewalks, but nothing more than that. And do note that it's isolated. So some places will stay dry while others could see some light showers. Again, this is for Monday night going into Tuesday morning. Tuesday looks dry during the day. In fact, Tuesday's looking mainly sunny. I mean, at least for the late afternoon. I will say Tuesday morning does look like a lot of cloud cover will be with us. But then we go into Tuesday night, more cloud cover, and then we head into Wednesday. We are looking at moisture moving in, and this model is, I don't like this model. It's been kind of clunky with us, and I don't agree with that at all. It's going to be raining on Wednesday morning, and for some reason it's being a pain in the butt. When it comes to these kind of systems, it kind of sucks in my opinion. But anyway, we'll go ahead and jump to this. So this is going to show the same thing. There's the sprinkle, light shower activity. Monday evening, Monday night. Go to Tuesday, still have that cloud cover, maybe a few peaks of sunshine. We'll call it partly cloudy for Tuesday afternoon. And then Tuesday night, more cloud cover moves in. And then we head into Wednesday. Wednesday morning, a few light showers are possible. And you can see Wednesday afternoon, more widespread rain moves in. That's ahead of the warm front. That's going to bring us some showers, even a few thunderstorms Wednesday night into Thursday. We'll talk about that here coming up in just a second. But first, let's take a look at those comments and questions on our Facebook page. Rhoda says hi. Hi to you. Darla says, good evening, Ethan. Hope you're having a great day and weekend. Saturday was great. Got to spend some time with family. Today was kind of a lazy day. Kind of took a step back and tried to relax some. And I got a lot of stuff I got to do personally for the start of the work week. I got to get tax stuff prepped and all those kind of things. Got to get my tires rotated. Need to plan for my oil change. All the fun adult stuff. Rhoda asks, when will the snow start, please? We don't got any for a little bit, Rhoda, so you can relax on that. We don't have to worry about that for a little bit. Oh, Garnett says, well, Jeff, you should be happy Ethan mentioned snow. I did mention snow. That's in the 14-day forecast. Timing right now is just really wishy-washy, but I will give you what we know right now here in a little bit. But let's focus first on what we've got here in the next 7 days. Then we'll dive into that But we've just got rain here over the next 7 days in our first alert forecast. I wouldn't rule out entirely Wednesday morning, so let's go back this up real quick. If there is anything Wednesday morning, because it looks kind of dry with this beginning of this warm front here, maybe we could see a little bit of graupel or sleet, those little ice pellets, initially, very early Wednesday morning. However, it looks like it's just going to be a rain event Wednesday during the day. I'm not concerned of any impacts from that. Just something you might notice. That's about it. But we go into Wednesday night into Thursday. We are going to be looking at showers and even a few thunderstorms. Right now, in fact, Chief Meteorologist Steve Horsemeyer, the man is always on the clock, on call. We talked a little bit. I don't think right now there's a severe threat. The severe threat is very limited for Wednesday night into Thursday. At best, we're looking at some downpours, some breezy conditions Wednesday night into Thursday. With that, we are going to be looking at, again, gusty winds and rain. That doesn't mean there could be a strong thunderstorm, but the severe threat is very, very limited at this point. Again, this is Wednesday night into Thursday morning. It looks like the heaviest of rain is actually north of I-70 with the latest model runs going into Wednesday night into Thursday. However, we could still see some pockets of moderate rain, especially Thursday morning as the beginning of this cold front begins to move into the tri-state. Now, the timing has been adjusted some, and this will continue to change as we get closer. When it comes to when you have boundary layers like this between the warm front and the cold front, when it's right over top of us, that can significantly change depending on its timing in regards to temperature and expectations. So this is the latest. The cold front looks to kind of move in a little bit quicker through the tri-state. So this is Thursday morning, and then Thursday afternoon, the cold front eventually will pass through. So Thursday morning is going to be pretty warm. But by Thursday afternoon, still a little breezy, and we still have scattered showers, lingering showers along and behind the front. And this is going to preclude the cooler conditions that's moving in Thursday night into Friday. So Friday looks dry. Friday looks sunny. Then we go to Friday night into Saturday, cloudy skies. And then Saturday morning, there's a lot of question marks here. In fact, let me get my drink of water real quick. So Saturday morning, this model is a little cold, in my opinion, with this warm front. And again, this is the same situation as Wednesday, Thursday. Little change makes a big difference when you have a warm front and a cold front with these two major air masses right near us. So this model is getting a lot colder further south for Saturday morning. I don't buy it. I think this warm front is going to be much further north. That's been kind of the trend for the last couple of systems like this. So I think that if anything Saturday morning, we might see a brief rain-snow mix, very brief, but I think it's going to be predominantly rain Saturday morning, and Saturday afternoon ultimately is going to be rain. So you'll see that here as we go forward in time. Saturday morning and afternoon. And models have a really hard time figuring out where that rain-snow line is, kind of depending, this far out especially, but depending on those temperature profiles. And this far out, that data is very limited. But what I'm trying to say here is that though we might have a little bit of a rain-snow mix Saturday early morning, impacts are minimal to nothing other than wet conditions on the roads. And then Saturday during the day, it's just rain. Scattered showers, temperatures will be getting warm Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. But this is when things are going to start to change. So we go into Saturday night into Sunday, the front passes through, and it's just going to be rain. That pink you saw there briefly, we'll back it up. That pink you see here going into Sunday morning, that's just an indicator of colder air. That cold air is affiliated with dry air too, so we're just looking at that rain ending, and then colder air moves in for the following week, February 10th. And this is when things are going to get interesting. I don't know if the model's going to go out this far, but let's hope so, because I want to explain this. So Monday and Tuesday look dry during the day of February 10th and 11th. But we go into Tuesday night into Wednesday, and this far out, this is when we're looking at the potential for significant changes. And when I say significant changes, I mean where this low pressure goes, that's going to determine A, what kind of precipitation we're going to have, and the timing. And right now, models are actually kind of in agreement now. Around the 11th and 12th, that we have this colder air mass that's going to dig in and push this low further south, meaning there could be snow showers in portions of Arkansas and Tennessee. Now, this far out, again, this is going to change. I know that might sound like a broken record. You may not like to hear that, but we're in a transition month when it comes to air masses, precipitation types, and ultimately temperatures. We got more daylight now, so radiative heating for the daytime is better than January. So that plays a factor into all of this. But I pause it here, and I'm not going to play it any further, because if this were to happen, let's say that cold air mass does move into the Great Lakes region, portions of the Ohio Valley, and you have this low pressure that's forced further south, we could see some snow showers here for February 12th. And so we'll show you that here on the 7-day forecast. And again, this will change. So don't put all your money, don't put all of your stocks into February 12th. This can be adjusted. And on top of that, depending on where that cold air mass goes, it could be rain. That's just the nature of this situation here, because you're seeing the significant temperature switches between now and by Sunday. That's kind of what we're dealing with here. We got two big air masses right next to each other, and it plays a big part in that. So here's the 7-day forecast for us. Tomorrow, again, the warmest day of the foreseeable future, a high of 64, very warm and breezy. Gusts on Monday could get up to 30 miles per hour. And then going into Tuesday, mostly cloudy, 48. Now, I will add that Tuesday we could see a mix of sun, or a little bit more sunshine during the middle of the day, but then Tuesday evening cloud cover does quickly return ahead of the system on Wednesday. So Wednesday, morning lows will be in the mid-30s roughly. So if anything, we might see maybe a few flakes mix in with the rain initially Wednesday early morning. However, this looks like it's just rain. In fact, there are no impacts with any kind of winter hazards. None of that, just rain. Again, this is for Wednesday. Scattered showers, a high up to 50 degrees. Now, I will say the majority of Wednesday will be stuck in the 40s because it's going to be dependent on when that warm front moves through. That warm front, it's going to take its sweet time Wednesday morning to lift into the area. Once it does, behind that warm front is when the temperatures are going to significantly warm. Again, two major air masses that have major implications on precipitation type and, well, just how warm it'll get. So that's why Wednesday night into Thursday, once that warm front passes through, we're looking at much warmer air, 59 degrees for Thursday morning. And then during the day, that cold front passes through from this area of low pressure and will allow temperatures to fall slightly in the afternoon, hence why we got 55 with those showers. A few thunderstorms are possible, yes, but I'm not looking at a severe threat right now. In fact, that threat has gone down a lot since Friday. Friday, we want to keep our eye on it, and more data comes in, and that threat continues to go down. That being said, still need to keep an eye on it. So that's Thursday. Breezy, too. Breezy winds Wednesday and Thursday. Could see gusts upwards of 30 miles per hour. Friday's not bad. Now, it's cooler, but it's not bad. Sunny. Morning lows in the upper 20s, highs in the low 40s. And with temperatures falling below freezing after this rain, keep in mind Friday morning we could have a few icy spots on roadways and sidewalks. Keep that in mind. Then we go into Saturday. Rain and breezy, 54 degrees, so getting warm again pretty quickly. And that's another warm front that moves into the region. And then Sunday, a cold front passes through. Could see some rain in the morning, But otherwise, though, Sunday is cloudy and 42. That's the 7-day forecast. Now, for those of you who've been asking, here is beyond the 7-day forecast. And I made some changes here. You can see temperatures are a little bit cooler compared to yesterday. The mildest days are Monday the 10th and Sunday the 16th of the month of February. And as I mentioned, we are looking at kind of some question marks on the type of precipitation we're dealing with. So Tuesday, we've got the chance for some snow showers perhaps. Also, or I should say, this is flurries. Wednesday looks like we could see some snow showers. And then this is when we have some question marks as the precipitation type could be. So that's why right now we're seeing rain, snow, and even wintry mix. It's going to be dependent on how warm we get during the day. And of course at night, it does look like it's going to be more of a snow or wintry mix situation. So either way, if you got plans for Valentine's Day, being inside with your significant other is probably going to be the best case scenario here. No walks in the park at least, unless if you want to wear a heavy coat or something, because that's definitely going to feel cold, especially after tomorrow's high of 64 degrees. I can't give you any more information than that with regards to the winter precipitation. It's way too early to discuss amounts, impacts, timing. That just is out the window. We've got a long time, got a long way to get there before we know those answers. But do note that the trend is cooler and moisture. So that's why we're looking at not only rain, but also snow and wintry mix here in this forecast from February 11th through the 16th. Now, I will say after the 16th, things do look to be getting warmer again, more seasonable with highs in the low to mid 40s, or I should say like mid 40s really, and then lows close to or above freezing. So things will get warmer after the 14-day forecast. But in the meantime, we are looking at a cool down going into that second week of February. And if you want to see kind of on a graph the 7-day plus, which will show you all 14 days of the highs and lows and everything in between, you'll see it here with the averages for the highs and lows. And this next 7 days, we're above normal, highs and lows. But then we go to the next 7 days, so day 8 to day 14, so basically from Monday the 10th through the 16th, we're below normal for highs, and lows, we're kind of hovering near normal. So, yeah, cooler weather is upon us here in the tri-state. Take a pause real quick, look at our Facebook comments and questions before we move on. And I will add, I haven't seen the comments yet, but before I check, I'm going to make an assumption. Somebody might be asking about Puxatawny Phil or any other rodent who has been predicting the weather today. And depending on who you like, who you listen to, whatever groundhog you want to hear from, winter's not over yet. So we got to deal with this colder air going into not this upcoming week, but the following week here in the Ohio Valley. All right. Jeff said, did I hear snow? Yeah, you did. Neil asking about any timing on snow. Not right now. It's way too far out there to even make that assumption, because if I tell you a time tomorrow, that time's going to be shifted by 6, 12, even 24 hours. It really depends on a lot of different factors, and that's all the way out to the 12th. It's the 2nd right now. This is 10 days out. A lot of things can change and will change. Too much to even gamble on telling you a time. Darla asks about accumulating snow. That's a potential with this, but like I said, this far out, it's going to depend on a lot of factors. Will that cold air mass be around with us enough with that low pressure on Wednesday to kind of give us cold enough air to where it's all snow? Because it's another factor with this. We could be looking at a rain-snow mix, because do you know the temperatures are above freezing? You could still have snow, just snow at those temperatures, but that far out, models have a really hard time with the temperature profile between the surface and the clouds where precipitation forms. But that's going to be a factor in all of this, and the area, where that low pressure is. So Darla is a chance, yes, of accumulating snow, but this far out, all bets are off. You really can't make an assumption, or even one model to the next is going to vary significantly. All right. Molly says, hello, guess winter is here for 6 more weeks. More snow, maybe the groundhog is right. Hey, a saying that I grew up hearing, every once in a while a blind squirrel is right, or it can find a nut, or I forget how the right saying is. A blind squirrel can find a nut every once in a while, or a clock is right 2 times out of the day. A broken clock, man, you can tell it's my Friday. A broken clock is right twice a day. That's the saying. Sheesh. Pamela says hi. Tina says Indiana, no snow. Yeah, you shouldn't see snow. It's just going to be warm for Monday. So, yeah. We're not talking about any kind of snow chances here the next 7 days. It looks like it's just primarily rain, maybe a little bit of wet snow mixing in with the rain, but not all snow. So, good news for those of you who don't like snow, at least in the next 7 days. After that, things are going to be a little different. No comments on my Facebook page. Okay, so I'm going to take a look here real quick at something I showed yesterday, and it shows the air masses really well. And I want to show you this because this is the implications of why this forecast has a lot of highs and lows. And I'm not going to go too much into the data like I did yesterday, but I just want to at least acknowledge that though you might be looking at this and being like, oh my gosh, Ethan, why does it look so warm on Monday but so cold going into the second week of February? And that's because of this. So let's go ahead and play it out. We got, well, let's move a little bit forward here. So Wednesday into Thursday, we got this yellow and orange. That's that really warm air mass, aided by kind of a little bit of tropical air moving into the southeast. But then you've got more of this colder air mass, and this is going to kind of swing in our direction. And you'll see here. It's not as strong, but it's going to make an influence. That's why that cold front that moves through Thursday is going to have such a difference. And any time that you see on any weather data, whether it's with pressure, whether it's with temperature, even precipitation rates, so light rain to heavy rain, when you see the color bands really close together like this in a short distance, and this is only a couple of states, that's a good indicator of a lot of energy. And so this is on Thursday afternoon. That cold front, as it moves through, it's going to have a lot of energy to pull in colder air Thursday night into Friday. And that's why Friday morning temperatures are below freezing. But do note, we go into Thursday night into Friday, that cold air just escapes us. It's the cold air is staying north of Lake Erie. Now we go into the weekend, so February 7th and 8th, there's that warmer air mass trying to lift in. It's trying to work in. That's why Saturday's highs are in the 50s. So we play this out, and then we head into Sunday, the 9th. And then that colder air mass is pooling back in. And this green line here is kind of a good divider between the really cold and really warm air mass. And again, note that the colors change a lot in a short range. And this is relatively speaking when I say short range. You might think from Virginia to New York is a long drive, and it is. But you got to think relative here. We're looking at a global map. We're looking at basically from, well, over towards Cuba, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, all the way up towards the Arctic Circle on this map. And when you got basically Norfolk to, say, the Syracuse area or Albany or up towards Burlington, Vermont, that's a big difference with the air masses, because over towards Norfolk or even to Virginia Beach or over towards Raleigh, North Carolina, really warm air mass there. Whereas up here, really cold air mass. You might be thinking, yeah, duh, Ethan, it's north. It's going to be colder. I'm talking about the degree of which it's colder, because we got this teal shade blue. That's that colder air mass pushing in. And then here you have this warmer air mass pushing up. So this is kind of the implications as to why we're kind of in the middle of it. So a little bit further if we have a stronger southerly wind, we get a lot warmer. When we get a more stronger northerly wind, we get much colder. And that's what's going to happen going into the following week, so February 10th, 11th, and 12th. And there you have it. Notice how this area of purple here is growing, expanding. And also note, again, the yellow and orange that's showing up in the deep south, it's still there, so it's still going to be pretty warm for folks in Florida. But this colder air is growing and expanding. And this is going to be kind of what we need to watch for the snow potential for the middle and latter half of the following week, so February 12th, 13th, and Valentine's Day. Because this cold air is strong enough and pushes down far enough that area of low pressure, which, mind you, is right in here. Actually, to that back. From this time, Wednesday evening, the low pressure is right around in here from the data. Yeah, because here's the trough here. But this, again, this is February 12th. Depending on how strong this cold air is, will either keep us from seeing any moisture to us seeing more moisture. And again, we're going to have to keep an eye on this. Right now, it is just too far to talk about any specifics on it. But this is what we're dealing with. This is why there are these drastic changes with the temperatures over the next 2 weeks. It's a transitional season. February and March. We see these really warm days and really cool days. It's just kind of how it is here in the Ohio Valley. But one thing we do know, pretty confident with this, and the data just continues to suggest this, is that we're falling in a La Nina pattern. In fact, we've already started that process of seeing that La Nina pattern in progress here in the Ohio Valley. Now, I do want to preface this because I've had a couple people ask me, does La Nina mean more snow or more rain? It depends. La Nina doesn't really have an influence on temperature for us in the Ohio Valley. It does, however, have an influence on precipitation. So no matter what, with La Ninas, we do see higher amounts of precipitation. Whether or not it's rain or snow is dependent on the air mass. And La Nina doesn't really have a pull for warmer or colder air for us in the Ohio Valley. Because you have the warm air, which, as I was showing you, the deep south does look to be pretty warm going into that middle of the month of February, while we're going to be a little bit colder. Very cold air up in the high plains into the high Rockies. What I showed you on that map with all the colors, that's also true. And we're kind of on that dividing line, which allows for those rounds of precipitation to move in. So it looks wet. Whether or not it's rain or snow is to be determined by the middle of the month of February. It does look like more rain than anything, but with it getting as colder or getting as cold as it is, there is that chance to see snow mixing in with it, and even days where it is just snow. But right now, it's just a wait and see thing. February 11th to the 16th. Got to keep an eye on those days. Okay, we're going to close this off soon. I got to get ready for the 10 o'clock newscast. Got to update some graphics and work on a couple projects I've been working on. So here is the 7-day forecast once more. You can see it there. Got full screen for you. The warmest days, or nights in this case, Monday 64, and then Thursday morning, so Wednesday night into Thursday morning, we do see temperatures in the upper 50s. And again, I will say that Wednesday and Thursday, we could be looking at a couple of changes with that depending on the timing of the front, both the warm front Wednesday and the cold front Thursday. Those are going to be really pivotal as to just how warm or cold we will get both of those days. Because some models keep Wednesday in the 30s all day. I don't buy that. I think that warm front moves in pretty quickly. Kind of the nature of how these systems have been behaving. That being said, can't rule it out. And then Thursday, we might be in the 60s. Again, it depends on that cold front, but right now it looks like that cold front moves in quicker. So keep an eye on Wednesday and Thursday for big changes. Perhaps Frank and Catherine should be updating those both Monday and Tuesday for you, as well as Chief Meteorologist Steve Horsemeyer. But those days, the temperatures could change a bit. So I would say for planning purposes, you're going to need an umbrella regardless, but you might want to keep the rain boots. I think the rain boots are pretty much a given. You'll need to have those at least. But whether or not you're wearing a coat versus just a rain jacket, I would have both out ready to go for Wednesday at least. Thursday, just a rain jacket. And do know it's going to be a little breezy with that too. And then Saturday, that's pretty much cut and dry. It looks like it's going to be cool in the morning in the 30s. Afternoon does get in the 50s. And then Sunday, cloudy and cooler in the low 40s. All right, final thoughts or questions on the Fox 19 Facebook page or my Facebook page, or at Ethan Emery WX. No new comments on the Fox 19 Facebook page. Must have scared everybody away with the snow talk. All right. No comments on my Facebook page. Molly asking, will Wednesday and Thursday have bad storms? I mentioned this earlier, but no. Right now it does not look like bad storms. I do think Wednesday night and Thursday morning we'll have some gusty winds and we'll have some pockets of moderate rain. So a strong storm, I can't rule it out. But the severe threat is very low right now for Wednesday and Thursday. I'm not pulling the trigger on a first alert weather day because I don't want to hype this up. It does not look like it's something of that magnitude. But it does look like a springtime thunderstorm where you're going to have that gusty wind move in, a good downpour, and warm conditions. So that's what we've got on our hands for Wednesday night and Thursday morning. That's the timing right now, Molly. That's been kind of consistent with the data here the last couple of days for the thunderstorm potential here. Garnett says, thanks for providing us with an updated forecast. Absolutely. That's my job. I want to serve you as best as possible with these updates. Okay, so that does it for us here. We've been talking for about 45 minutes or so. And I got to get ready for the newscast tonight on Fox 19. So thank you so much for joining us here on this Sunday edition of our 19atSIX weather show. Hopefully you can join me tonight at 10 o'clock on Fox 19 along with Courtney King, Alexis Martin, and of course our talented sports team here on Fox 19. Of course, you can get that latest First Alert forecast anytime, anywhere on the First Alert weather app, the 24/7 weather streaming channel, and of course on fox19.com/weather. Have a wonderful Sunday evening.